So we wanted to take the opportunity to spotlight what we would like to call BMI Songwriting 101 Know Them Now edition. These writers, producers have already had placements, had records. They're going to where a lot of the big writers are today. So we wanted to definitely give them spotlight, an opportunity to be heard, to inspire, because they're not that far from where a lot of you all are today.
Hi.
Hi.
So I don't know where to start. Let's see. Like you said, I am 1/3 of a writing team called Full Circle. One of them is my sister, and the other girl, Keisha, very talented. Both of them are extremely talented. We met at Georgia State, and we started off writing in our dorm room. And we didn't know that we would get to where we are now. It was just purely just for the love of music. And at that time, I was kind of doing my own stuff as well on the artist side. And so, you know, that kind of allowed us to work with a couple of the local producers and stuff. And we just worked our way up. And eventually ended up meeting Polo the Don, not the Don. King of the White Girls, no. And years later, we did a publishing deal with Zone 4 and Universal, which, like Byron said, brought us out to Los Angeles, where we, got some of our first placements and worked with Chris Brown, El DeBarge, Diddy, Carrie Hilson, MIA, Lloyd, just, got to meet and work with a lot of people. And I'm back here in Atlanta, finishing up my album now, which I'm focused on, so that's a little bit about me.
I come from a Haitian household. Went to Michigan State. My roommate at the time, he sang. He had a little keyboard in the dorm room, so we wrote songs. He took me to a recording studio for my first time in Detroit. I walked in the recording studio. The engineer said, you're moving like you're always like you were born in a recording studio. And then that was like on a Thursday. That Friday, I called my mom and told her I was dropping out. Argued on Saturday, still argued on Sunday. Still mad on Monday, and then I bought my plane ticket, and I ended up going to Full Sail, and then after Full Sail, well, she told me I had to go to a school, period. So I went to Full Sail, graduated Full Sail, worked at AT&T where I met Verse Simmons, and after some recording sessions, I just said to myself that either I'm gonna work with him or be hoping to work with him. In the future, we ended up working with an independent label owner in LA who signed I-15 at the time. And then, we did our first album producer job duty was for an artist named Accent in 06. That was on Capitol. It was released in Japan and went gold in Japan. We took that, got an overseas pub deal, moved to Atlanta, and just started working. And I also had met Indy at that time, so that fast forward, worked with Rock City, worked with Verse Simmons, my partner. That led to us, working with Jay and Rihanna and Kanye, and then we're working with like K9 and some other folk as well. So that's the fast version.
I went to Best Buy and I bought a program called Acid for $30, and I just became obsessed with it. And my friend was a rapper, and my whole goal was just to try to make something good enough for him to rap on. But when I eventually had the guts to show him my stuff, he was like blown away, and he was like, this is like a lot better than I thought. So he took me to the studio that he was in Tampa. They had a little record thing or whatever, and I showed these guys my beats, and they had keyboards, like full studios, Pro Tools rigs, and I had this little $30 program. And they were like, at the end of hearing my stuff, they're like, what do you use? And I was like, Acid. And they all laughed at me. It was funny. But then they all at the end, they were like, well, if you did that with that, I want to see what you do with this. So one of the guys gave me an MPC. And that thing sat in my room for like a month and a half. And I just stared at it, and I was scared. I was like, this means like this is the big business. So I printed out the manual. The manual was like this big, and I was just like, And I finally just sat down and learned it. And like right around that time, A little after that, I got diagnosed with cancer, and I had Hodgkin's disease, and I was so sick that in chemo, the only thing I could really do was barely eat and make music. So it's been 9 months of my life just basically in bed and busting my ass on the beats. And during that time, Mike Karen of Atlantic Records really, really loved my stuff. He put me in the studio with T-Pain for a week whenever I got healthy, and I worked with a bunch of people. I had a Flow Rider single. I had a bunch of stuff going on, and meanwhile I'm fighting for my health. So it was really dope. And by the time I was done with everything, with the treatments and the radiation, I had a pub deal. A lot of people were looking for my stuff, and then probably a year later, I got a call that Beyoncé wanted a record of mine, and it was my first placement ever. It was Beyoncé, and it was I just think the universe, God, everything that everything that I went through was for a reason, you know. Everything that I do has everything to do with art as well, because I grew up in that. So I'm really, really particular about branding and the website and everything coming together. But have a lot of projects. I just did Mirror off of Lil Wayne's new album, supposedly the next single. It was number 3 on iTunes without any kind of push or anything, so we're hoping for that to come through. I got 2 artists, blah, 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 blah. But I love music, and I love talking to people and giving advice or trying to impart anything that I learned in the process. So.
First of all, I want to give a big shout to BMI and KSU because I feel really on right now. Regular water and coconut water. I really made it, you know what I mean? Second off, I'm really I feel blessed to even be on this panel, you know what I mean, with great producers like Leo, Shawn, India, you know what I'm saying? I really have today 1 placement, we sold about 3 million downloads, but seriously, you know what I mean? I definitely came from an artist background instead of a writer background. I started out as an artist. I actually graduated from Marietta High School. It's not that far from around here. I see a couple people that also went there, you know what I mean? And when I got out of high school, got with a production company. They thought I had a lot of talent, so we went up to New York, got a record deal. And the record deal, I just really started learning the business, and it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. It wasn't chips with Crystal and free models. But I was like, whoa, that's what I wanted. I ended up getting a little side deal with Grand Hustle. So T.I. was really my mentor for a long time before he started getting in trouble. So I learned a lot of stuff from him as an artist, and I was always making my own music. But once my own music wasn't paying, I was saying maybe I should make some music for some other people just to see, because I know they get paid for it. So I hooked up with a guy, Kane Beats, you know what I'm saying? He's done a lot of stuff. He's really like that, you know what I'm saying? Making super hits. But he gave me an opportunity, and I think that the grind that I had through trying to be an artist or wanting to be an artist so long, it rolled over into my writing. So I'm in there writing books, I'm coming out with a mixtape on Monday or something. And it's so many to choose from that we caught one with the Lupe Fiasco record. I was not really a Lupe Fiasco fan until he cashed me out. And I was like, go Lupe. But I'm just continuing to work hard and, glad to be a part of the BMI family so I can, feel on. So that's basically my story, it's just still going.